Hey guys, welcome back into Crypto's News. It's me, Omar Bam, aka Crypto. Sorry, I had a little bit of a technical hiccup there. It sounds like maybe the mic was being a little bit unusual, but we got that resolved, guys. Here for another update on what's going on in cryptocurrency today as we document this crazy journey. Just crazy. I mean, all of it, just all parts of it. We got plenty coming up today. Ross Ulbricht's official pardoning from the president, from the new president, and plenty more to dive into. Ethereum drama that is shaking things up, hopefully in a good way. So stay tuned, guys. Good evening. Nice to have you guys. Hey, Bitcoin changed my life. I'm glad it did, by the way. And hey, Kevin Hawthorne, thank you guys for showing up, and whoever checks us out later. Remember to hit like if you enjoy these videos, subscribe if you're new to the show, and turn on the notification bell if you want to know when we are live so you can get timely updates. So here we are at CoinGecko. Today, market caps overall for crypto, wow, almost $4 trillion. We are up 1.9% to $3.785 trillion. We have Bitcoin up 5.5% over the last 24 hours at $105,691. And I believe it actually closed the day at a brand new record high as far as the business closing day over at Coinbase prices. We also have Ethereum up 4.5% at $3,337.29. And XRP has continued to rally up 2.5%. Solana got back some of the losses it had yesterday. It had a lot of gains over the weekend, gave some back, and now recovering again up 7.8%. That's pretty much what I'll be covering here on the top coins. Yeah, this is definitely something that was becoming quite trending, right? Because there was a promise of a presidential pardon for one of the operators of Silk Road, the famous dark web marketplace from back in the day that resulted in Ross Ulbricht serving 12 years. He's been locked up since 2013, and his mother never lost hope. She had charge of an account called Free Ross on X.com, previously Twitter, and she would give updates on Ross, get messages from him to post on the account. And Ross was like such a great role model prisoner. He really inspired so many people around him, despite the fact that he was serving over 2 life sentences, something ridiculous. And the internet was beginning to get anxious that he wasn't going to be pardoned because we were on day 2 of our new president. He's already doing so many different executive orders and nothing about Ross until just now, probably like an hour or 2 ago, it started to blow up. Donald Trump actually tweeted out, "I just called the mother of Ross, William Ulbricht, Lynn, to let her know that in honor of her and the libertarian movement, which has supported me so strongly, it was my pleasure to have just signed a full and unconditional pardon of her son Ross. The scum that worked to convict him were some of the same lunatics who were involved in the modern day weaponization of government against me. He was given 2 life sentences plus 40 years. Ridiculous." So some kind of a swamp draining, I guess. He's people who were involved with this whole Hunter Biden thing and covering up his laptop and details have had their security clearance removed, for example, but Federal Reserve is still operating just as it has, because I think it kind of operates over the government rather than under it. Anyway, Free Ross account then had tweeted out, "Ross was just granted a full and unconditional pardon by Donald Trump. Words cannot express how grateful we are. President Trump is a man of his word, and he just saved Ross's life. Ross is a free man." I mean, imagine how incredible it would be as a mother to get her son back after all this time. I'm really happy for her to have actually had this come true, and of course for Ross to finally be free. I'm wondering what he's going to be doing now. I have a feeling it's not going to be launching NFTs to try to grift the space. He probably will be continuing to support the ideals of this libertarian, I guess, like original crypto anarchist ideals, I would assume. I'm probably being a really good voice just outside of prison, how he has been inside of it. Anyway, we do have some out there that are, I guess, not happy, or they're trying to get attention from Ross being freed, like this account, BitBuyer313, who said, here's an extremely unnegative opinion. Ross is a net negative to Bitcoin. Oh, yeah. Really? Because he created one of the first major use cases that accepted Bitcoin, right? On the Silk Road. Ross is a net negative to Bitcoin and shouldn't be hailed as a martyr he's made out to be. Literally every normal person I know in real life thinks Bitcoin and drugs go hand in hand because of the Silk Road. No, probably more like certain politicians and incumbent financial leaders who want to poo-poo all over it in order to enrich themselves or further whatever agenda that they have. But okay, buddy, it's a negative stigma that Bitcoin still hasn't been able to shake completely, he says. Yeah, whatever, buddy. But yeah, I just wanted to share, as I often do, as many sides of an argument as I can do reasonably. Anyway, cool. Good job there from Trump. Maybe not so good a job on kind of rugging. It's not exactly rug pulling on everybody because the project didn't disappear, this Trump NFT, but plenty of people bought it at all-time highs and bid it up higher and higher, pushing it up to like the 15th highest ranking crypto in the weekend, pretty much overnight by market cap. Just absolutely insane, although it's been dropping quite a bit. Let's go see, actually. Let's go see where it's at. I haven't really bothered to check much beyond earlier today. Oh, look, it's actually up 28.7% over the last 24 hours. Dang, who's going to get in here? This chart looks positive. Anyway, he's made an appearance here to talk about the meme coin. He made his first public statement, and I'll share that with you guys right now.
Crypto coin the other day. Do you intend to continue selling products that benefit yourself personally while you're president?
Well, I don't know if it benefited. I don't know where it is. I don't know much about it other than I launched it. I heard it was very successful. I haven't checked it. Where is it today?
Hey, you made a lot of money, sir.
How much?
Several $1 billion, it seems like, in the last several days.
Several billion? That's peanuts for these guys.
I don't know. He seemed a little bit lighter after hearing he made billions. If you really didn't realize how much he made, unlikely, then the prospect of suddenly having made billions like super quick on this coin did seem to like fill him with a kind of rigor and energy. Anyway, yeah, a little bit ridiculous there. Hey, Milton, what's up, man? I'm sorry, totally should have known it was you. What's up, Milton? I hope you're doing well, brother. Still seeing your posts on Instagram. Hey, B Internet user, nice to have you. Quentin, back at it. What's up, man? And Renee, nice to see you. You said, while Trump did it like anything for political gain, I'm happy. Yeah, Ross's pardon. Biden should have done it, really. I'm definitely not touching the Trump coin. Yeah, I'm not touching it either. Super risky thing. I totally agree with you on that one. Everything is pretty much political. I imagine what he'll be doing over the next 4 years are to enrich himself and his close allies and partners or whatever. I really don't think it's just for the good of everybody else. But yeah, now we've heard it from himself, kind of his thoughts on it. I love that they asked him that question. Anyway, I did mean to mention this kind of thing yesterday, just in case you weren't aware. If you are somehow trying to buy Trump coin or the Melania, whatever you call her, coin, these NFTs are subject to a bunch of other scam tokens that are being created out there. Other grifters who are basically trying to make themselves look like the official Trump coin or the official Melania coin, and they are raking in a lot of money. Here's an article that I found on Cointelegraph. Some of these copycat tokens recorded over $4.8 million in purchases in 24 hours from over 12,000 different wallets. Yeah, a crazy amount of them. 38 fake Trump tokens traded on Solana dexes alongside 23 Melania tokens. And it goes in to talk about how many of these tokens, these Trump tokens, were created daily in the thousands of amounts of these different tokens. that were being created, and that jumped to over double the amount when the official coin came out. So if you are trying to pick these things up, be very careful with which ones you are buying if you're trying to buy the real Trump NFT out there. But yeah, I had to give that a mention. Also, there was this that surfaced from Yahoo Finance. It was an interview, a brief interview outside the World Economic Forum featuring Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase. He had also made some comments at fireside chats during events, but this one I thought was interesting and kind of captures what narrative he was kind of sharing out there with a lot of these global economic and financial leaders. And he talks about all these different countries that have so many different things, right? And for example, the United States, we have gold, we have silver, we have over 27 different precious metals, we have oil that are kept in reserve, strategic reserve cheese. Actually, we hoard cheese, believe it or not, here in the United States. I believe that had something to do with how there was a lot of excess cheese being made that could not be sold. And for times of hardship and famine, there would be a surplus of cheese that we had in warehouses here in the United States to give out to the people nice and cheap. But if we have all these things, including cheese in reserve, why would we not consider adding Bitcoin out there, what he believes is the future of money, really the future? And so he totally believes in something like a strategic reserve, and he believes that countries everywhere should be adding Bitcoin to their reserves. So not too much of a surprise if you kind of have been following Brian Armstrong's career and his commentary, but really something special to see him on such a huge spotlight here, again, lending his ears to leaders around the world who have sizable influence. This could be something that definitely attracts a lot more credibility to the space, and of course wealth to the space, as more and more try to seek some sort of allocation, nation states, into Bitcoin and perhaps other digital assets. Sup guys? So Alex Kolikish, he's quite upset here, as are many users. Again, I have talked about Solana having congestions, but Coinbase has been one of the places that have suffered the most congestion with all this demand for Solana. It's actually surpassed Ethereum when it comes to the amount of fees that are collected on a daily level. DeFi activity is blossoming, and it's led to problems with congestion on Coinbase specifically. For example, users who are not able to withdraw their Solana tokens, so their own private wallet, they have extreme delays when it comes to accessing their funds or even having visibility of them. So here's a comment from Alex. Bought Sol Solana via Coinbase 2 days ago and tried to transfer out to a private wallet. The transaction is still pending, cannot be reversed or traded. Coinbase has provided zero communication. I don't think it's unreasonable to ask if it's solvent. They are gating withdrawals. So this is something that sometimes we have seen in the past with exchanges, shadier crypto exchanges, where suddenly users are unable to withdraw until a certain amount of that token, for example, gets deposited. They might then honor some of these withdrawals because of insolvency issues or not having all the tokens actually there. So this has led to a lot of folks saying, hey, it looks like Coinbase doesn't actually have the Solana out there. And that is what is leading to this. Yeah, like here's that headline, Coinbase by Finance Lot. Coinbase is reportedly out of Solana, making users unable to withdraw money. It's not reportedly out of anything. That's more of a rumor. And here's an official statement from Brian Armstrong, CEO. It's a scaling challenge, keeping up with activity on Solana chain, which surged lately, not solvency. So he's saying it's not insolvency. The tokens are there. Customer funds are 100% backed and audited periodically by Deloitte. Team is working hard to resolve it. Let me see what we can improve on comms. That's a fair point. Okay, cool. I mean, that's the kind of way I think to address this kind of situation. Make people feel reassured by saying your funds are there. We're just having some internal issues when it comes to dealing with such a congested chain. And we're going to work on future communication so that it's clear and these kinds of rumors aren't as abound. Anyway, yeah, really cool to see that. if you guys were concerned or had any sort of issues getting your Solana tokens. Also, there is a new task force that is being led here by Hester Pierce in regards to formation of a new way to regulate cryptocurrencies as they pertain to securities. And here's the official press release out of Washington. SEC Crypto 2.0 acting chairman Uyeda announces formation of a new crypto task force. So Mark Uyeda launched a crypto task force dedicated to developing a comprehensive and clear regulatory framework for crypto assets. Talking about Hester Pierce, commissioner, who's going to lead the task force along with others, drawing from talented staff across the agency. The task force will collaborate with commission staff and the public to set the SEC on a sensible regulatory path that respects the bounds of the law. To date, the SEC has relied primarily on enforcement actions to regulate crypto, retroactively and reactively. It's ridiculous. It's like if you were to try to make laws after somebody did the crime without telling them that it was a crime in the first place. Absolutely ridiculous. So often they had to adopt novel and untested legal interpretations along the way. Clarity regarding who must register and practical solutions for those seeking to register have been elusive, non-existent, really. The result has been confusion about what is legal, which creates an environment hostile to innovation and conducive to fraud. The SEC can do better. The task force focus will be to help the commission draw clear regulatory lines, provide realistic paths to registration, craft sensible disclosure frameworks, and deploy enforcement resources judiciously. The task force will operate within the statutory framework provided by Congress and will coordinate the provision of technical assistance to Congress as it makes changes to that framework. The task force will coordinate with federal departments and agencies, including the CFTC and state and international counterparts. I look forward to the efforts of Commissioner Pierce to lead regulatory policy on crypto, which involves multiple SEC divisions and offices, said the interim chairman. This undertaking will take time, patience, and much hard work. It will succeed only if the task force has input from a wide range of investors, industry participants, academics, and other interested parties. We look forward to working hand in hand with the public to foster a regulatory environment that protects investors, facilitates capital formation, fosters market integrity, and supports innovation, said Hester Pierce. I think this sounds like a fantastic, sensible approach that's not going to be immediate, right? It's not going to be an immediate resolution, but it is better than what we had heard previously from the SEC and how they basically didn't want to do their job. They just said the job's already done. Look at these old laws, and we're going to interpret them however benefits us and enforce that sort of way, which is ridiculous to have seen go on for this long, having been in crypto. That it does downright seem corrupt that this kind of behavior was how the SEC carried themselves. So I am looking forward to better coming out of the SEC for folks here in the United States and for precedents that will be set worldwide here. Okay, so this is that drama, man. It's still playing out right now, and it's something that's I guess been the result of some time when it comes to Ethereum Foundation leadership and trying to mix that up to see who's going to be in charge, what's the board going to be, and internal conflicts are beginning to come to light and is causing the community to become really disheartened in many ways. I guess I'll share with you guys what Vitalik said, and he kind of put himself here on a throne to say that I am the person in charge of the Ethereum Foundation right now till I decide who's going to be in the board and who's going to do things. So kind of like on his high horse, I'll have to say it. I'll call it how it is. That's kind of how I see it here. I don't think the way that he communicated this was good. See, I'll give a nod toward like Brian Armstrong, how he communicates himself and conflicts. And I don't think Vitalik did the best job in this kind of way. And it's kind of leading to splits in the community. But yeah, so people are trying to get Aya Miyagachi, who has been the head of the Ethereum Foundation, to get ousted from her role because she has been inefficient for the most part in running the Ethereum Foundation. So there was this comment here by Coin Mamba saying, we got some momentum here. Yeah, with Aya resigning, ETH can reach all-time high in 2 weeks. Nase says in response, You think that this statement equals resignation? And he points at a comment on Twitter by Aya, who said, "We've been working on this for a year, and I'm excited to finally be able to share more news about this soon." And this was just posted in January 18th, so it's not a sign at all that she was planning to resign as early as just a few days ago, 3 days ago. And then Coin Mamba said, no, she's not resigning, but if we keep the pressure on, she will resign. So this seems to have touched something sore for Vitalik, because it got him a little bit emotional here. He said, no, this is not how the game works. The person deciding the new ETH, Ethereum Foundation leadership, is me. One of the goals of the ongoing reform is to give the Ethereum Foundation a proper board, but until that happens, it's me. If you keep the pressure on, then you are creating an environment that is actively toxic to top talent. Some of Ethereum's best devs have been messaging me recently expressing their disgust with the social media environment that people like you are creating. You are making my job harder, and you are decreasing the chance I have any interest whatsoever in doing what you want, m'lady. So yeah, a little bit harsh there, I think, in communicating, and someone who has such an influential role in Ethereum should be careful, I think, with how he words certain things. And it's resulted apparently in some Ethereum developers jumping ship, decided that they don't want to be on board. It's led to situations where like anti-prosynthesis.eth on Twitter has taken the .eth out of his username handle. Others are doing it as well, like Eric Connor, who said, "I'm no longer a .eth. Perhaps someday those in leadership roles will realign with the community, but for now I am out. Deep down, I truly hope Ethereum succeeds. Good luck." And then Cosimo de Medici down here, "How much you want for that Ethereum name service domain? Eric responds, "Glad you finally showed up trying to milk the moment. Maybe if people like you contributed to Ethereum instead of grifting, it'd be doing better." Dang. So you can see just this conflict that's getting really, really heated right now. I think for some investors, it's making them concerned that Ethereum might be losing momentum here, right? Versus other coins we talked about with their metrics in reference to DeFi and fees, such as like Binance Chain and Solana kind of falling behind there. And now with this like conflict narrative taking place at the Ethereum Foundation and Vitalik and the community at large is leading people to feel unsure at this time about Ethereum. But I do find this reasonable post here to be valuable by Kopelman.eth. Notice he still has .eth in his name. "Ethereum is much more than the Ethereum Foundation, and I am a part of it." Absolutely. I think, like, for me, adding .eth at the end of your name is just a symbol of support for Ethereum, the decentralized network, not for the foundation itself. So to take the .eth out of your name just because of that conflict, I think it's weird. I think it's emotional. I think people really need to kind of take a step back here. Maybe that's what they're doing to try to figure out really what the priorities are and what they think about Ethereum and their relation to it. But also this comment is pretty dope. ETH 10K is FUD wrote on the Ethereum subreddit, "Wartime Ethereum is the best Ethereum. Exciting times ahead." And this is also mirrored by DC Investor, someone who is and has been very well respected in the Ethereum community. He was previously a lot on the subreddits, and he disappeared for a long time, kind of raged out of the subreddits, started hanging out a lot on Twitter, and just kind of seeming like somebody who says stuff for clout for a while. But I noticed that he was back in the Ethereum subreddit today, funny enough, and still posting on Twitter. He said the last time that there was this dissent in Ethereum was February 2020 with the gory fight and eventual rejection of ProgPow. This is financial advice. So he circled here this time right around ProgPow, which, if you don't know, was a big controversy, debate that took place at the time to kind of try to change the way Ethereum was mined, to make it borderline impossible for ASIC or specialized mining chips who are just specialized on that specific ETH hash algorithm to be able to mine with ASICs to keep the network decentralized was really the motive behind it, to enable access for more and more people to be able to mine it. And there were meetings that the developers had spending upwards of an hour to discuss the topic and to see whether this would be something to actually implement. It did not get implemented, but it did create, again, a lot of conflict around that time within the community. And DC Investor is noting that afterwards, the price just exploded after that initial drop. People are pointing out that, yeah, everything's quite different today. In my opinion, said David Hoffman, ProgPow doesn't even show up on the scale in comparison to what's going on today. And DC said ProgPow is pretty bad. A letter was signed saying we'd basically hard forked the network and practically had to blow up core dev to stop it when everything was on autopilot until then. While this is definitely different, I see the echoes. I see the echoes. I mean, Ethereum has proved itself to be resilient through so many different things, going all the way back to the hard fork that resulted in Ethereum Classic. If you could really even call it a hard fork, that's, I guess, something debatable, but that was after the DAO incident, which I'm not going to get into again. Covered that live while it was happening, wild times. But yeah, I think it's true that some of the most passion for Ethereum and for kind of guiding the community forward comes out of these conflicts and the eventual resolution that tends to make it stronger afterwards. So I'm in it. I'm here for the ride. We'll see what happens. The price doesn't seem to be notably impacted. As I mentioned today, still up positive on the day. So maybe this is just social media being social media. We know that Ethereum Foundation is being more active. They've announced they're going to be doing that on social media. They just deployed a huge amount, like 50,000 ETH to DeFi to try to incentivize decentralized finance on Ethereum. So personally, I'm sitting here and waiting for what's going to come. And I'll finish with a rug pull. It looks like the Cuba account on Twitter or something dropped an official meme coin, official Cuba token on Solana. And as it says here, they dropped an official meme coin that pumps to millions in no time, only to delete the tweet and rug everyone shortly after. Nations pulling the rug. So yeah, we're like at the level now where nation states are rug pulling. Presidents are rug pulling. Strange times. Realistically, I think what could have really happened here is that some sort of underpaid social media intern who runs this account took the opportunity to try to pump something for personal gain or someone else's gains. I would assume that's the most likely scenario, but I don't really know the full picture yet on this story that's developing. And as always, I want to thank y'all so much for making it out. What's up, Gaston, man? I was talking about you with Janelle yesterday, Gaston. We were like, whatever happened to Gaston? Haven't heard from Gaston in a long time because we had some Topo Chico, and I think you were the one who like introduced us to it and gave us a bunch of bottles of it back in the day. Good times. And yeah, Rain, the DAO hack. I actually I was fine either way, Claude, with how that went down, whether they would have left things the same or not. I think it did make sense, though, for there to not be a rewind, as people call it, of the blockchain, because it did not create for all these narratives that we still have to hear about today. Either way, it was a bad scenario, and we made it out of the side of that. So, like, comparing this drama to that, this is just a big nothing burger to me that will be just fine. Anyway, I will have to be heading out, but thank you guys for making it out today to the show. I hope I catch y'all the next time. Thank you for participating in the lively chat. So many OGs out here. We have something special out here where so many of you are real people. So many of you have been around here for a long time. So many of you know what's going on with so many different avenues with crypto, bigger picture. We're not just here to try to get the latest meme coin and shill that kind of thing. And I think that makes this community super special. So thank you for being a part of it with me. And I will finish with our quote of the day by Ramsey Clark. Turbulence is life force. It is opportunity. Let's love turbulence and use it for change. Take care, everyone. Much love. No red flags and stay cryptic. Peace.